Could you share with us an example of how the case cost financing, an additional example how case cost financing has brought value to your firm and ultimately, of course, to your clients?
As a global answer, all my clients are benefiting from the case costs because no expense is being spared right from the beginning. But to give you a particular example, I represented a gentleman who survived a two-story fall. He was a construction worker. Statistically, people don't survive two-story falls. One-story fall, they have a pretty good chance, but 2 stories, not really. He was in a coma, the case comes to trial, and it's a damage trial only. The expenses on that case were a lot of money. They were $132,000 at the end of the day. During the course of the pendency of the litigation, there were never any offers of settlement, and on the eve of trial, there was an offer of settlement of $2 million. And I told the client, please don't take this money. It's not a fair sum of money. It wouldn't even pay for the medications for the rest of his life. We go to trial, and the different experts that were required at this trial, from a neurologist to a radiologist, a neuroradiologist, a life care planner, a rehabilitation doctor, an economist, and others. Those witnesses, they're not cheap, and they earn their money. And when you have case cash behind you, you can not only hire an expert, but you can hire the expert, the best guy in the field. And there are different qualities, there are different abilities in experts. And you want to have the best one by your side, especially when you represent someone who woke up one morning not planning for catastrophe and never returned home the guy who he was when he left in the morning. The jury gives the client $12 million, and soon after that, they tender the $9 million of insurance, which my client is ready to jump at, and I say to my client, not so fast. And I explained to him that we had summary judgment a year and a half earlier, and they owe us 9% interest. So a jury verdict that was $12 million, in effect, during the course of the pendency of the appeal, for every morning he woke up, he made $3,000. Now, I told the client just to be patient and to wait. He still was on workman's comp to cover his medications and to pay his rent. And at this point in time, he should get the largest sum that the law would permit. Long story short, I didn't have to worry about that $132,000 of expenses in terms of recovering that back so my firm can operate forward. It wasn't even a blip on the radar, actually. It was a non-factor. Whereas 30 years ago, if I had tied up $132,000 in expenses on one case after 6 weeks of trial, I'd be chomping at the bit to, try to get that case resolved. And I'd like to think that I would have told my client not to take the $9 million and to wait, but I'm not so sure I would have. That's the truthful answer. Ultimately, the case resolved for $10.8 million, where they paid $1.8 million in interest. And I do believe that having case cash on my side to pay for those experts and not to feel the pinch of having to pay it back over that period of time was partly responsible for that recovery.